Kalayam Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Okay, alright, so this has gotta be, I mean, this has to be the spirit, because you see this page on YouTube, John X Army 2, right? I just started following this page because out of nowhere I got a recommendation. All right, I only get recommendations from pages that, first and foremost, of course, pages that you follow or pages that I follow, right? And more so pages that I turn, the notifications on, as I get, as this video goes on, you might see a notification pop up, right? But like I said, I got a notification from this page, John X Army 2, and at the time I wasn't following him or anything. I've never heard of this. I've never heard of this guy, never heard of this page or anything. But I got this notification or this recommendation out of nowhere, right? And I'm gonna play it out. I'm gonna play this video out. I'm not gonna play the whole video. I'm gonna just let the video play.
On Patreon. We'll probably go live on Patreon after this, but I think this is very important. This video, listen, needs to go viral. I'm gonna show you why in a minute. This is the video. If you're watching and you don't want your country destroyed, what you can do to help is share this video somewhere with someone, okay? It's what you can do to help. It's what you can do to save your country. You can share this video, and I'm going to show you why right now. I understand why why most channels that aren't left-leaning have been demonetized, had their videos pulled down. It's about to go down. It's about to happen, you guys, is what I'm telling you. That's why my main channel, I can't upload. I'm locked out of it. That's why a lot of other YouTubers, you guys know, researchers are locked out of their accounts right now. It's because it's about to happen, and they don't want everybody raising the alarm. They don't want, look, I got 230,000 subscribers on the main channel. That's too many people. All big channels like that have been demonetized and censored because of what is about to happen. Things have not even got started yet. This is today's news. U.S. may be violating international law in its response to protesters, UN expert says. International human rights advocates observing how the U.S. is handling the protests have said the U.S. may be violating international law. The world spoke to the UN Special Rapporteur Agnes Callamard on the use of force by U.S. police. To make a long story short, civil rights groups are now suing the Trump administration for violating the constitutional rights of demonstrators. You've been watching events on the streets of the U.S. this week from France. Are you seeing violations of international law? This is the UN. Yes, I have. At least on the basis of the videos that I have watched and the reporting that I have read, there appears to be repeated violations of international law.
So pretty much this is the UN, like you said, this is the UN speaking, right? The United Nations. And they're saying that from what they are observing with the police brutality that's going on over here, the UN is pretty much saying that America is violating international laws. So what does that mean? Well, let's continue to play it out.
In particular, two principles that should guide the use of force by police in terms of handling protests. You guys, the UN wants in. The UN wants in on the action. Do you hear me? Are you listening? Are you listening? The UN is saying that the United States is violating international law. This is the reason they needed to come into America. But let's keep going. There's another one. And this is how they're going to do it. Right here.
And it makes sense. I've been meditating on this a little bit. It makes sense. I mean, it only makes sense. They are talking about pretty much doing away with the police, right? And replacing the police. And again, like I said, it only makes sense. They will replace the police with the military. I just did a video, kind of explaining it a little bit, who else would they replace the police force with? The military, right? And it makes even more sense. Well, because like I said, well, I didn't say it, but, well, like I said, I've been meditating on this a little bit. Ever since this killing of George Floyd, right? Out of nowhere, you just had you have all these police, man, just using unnecessary force, just randomly shooting protesters and shooting reporters and arresting people, and just the video that came out with the old man that got knocked on the floor, right? He started bleeding from his ears and his mouth and everything, right? All this stuff just started happening out of nowhere, and I was just thinking, like, this is definitely not a coincidence. All these things are just out of nowhere, just happening, right? And it's now it's starting to make sense. So let me play this, and I'm going to get into some precepts, of course, but let me play this out.
Breaking. Minneapolis City Council votes to dismantle the police department. Vows to replace it with a community-based public safety model. You get it? Do you guys get it? Can you see on the screen? Look at that top tweet. Do you see it? Minneapolis is the first city to do it. The rest are going to follow. Are you listening to me? Do you hear my words? Minneapolis has voted tonight to dismantle their police force. They're going to do some community policing that's different. Do you get it? Other cities and states are going to follow suit. They're getting rid of the police force. They've made up this whole big thing. Listen, let me tell you a fact. More white people are killed by police every single year than black, and you can look up the numbers because I did. So
that could be true, like I said, they just out of nowhere just starting to, kind of come down on Jake, right? And just there's even more videos now of Jake's dying, these cops putting their knee in there, in Jake's necks or whatnot, right? Because again, at the end of the day, Esau, he has an agenda. He puts his propaganda out. He puts out there what he wants you to see. So, I mean, I haven't fact checked it yet, but this guy's probably right, or he's probably right. More Edomites probably die by the policemen than Jake's do, but that's nevertheless, again, I haven't fact checked that. So nevertheless,
that's a fact. More white people are killed by police every single year than black people. That's a fact. That's a statistical fact that can be proven. Now, they're getting rid of the police force in Minneapolis. The rest of the cities and states, you're going to see them go down one at a time in the next month, the next 2 months, hell, maybe the next week. They're going to take all the police out. There's going to be chaos in the streets, and the UN's coming in. This is what they're doing. This was the plan from the jump. This was why they...
So does it make sense? All these things could be happening, purposely, because Esau, he wants to bring those UN troops in. They want to do away with the policemen. And Who else would they, I mean, like I said, it just makes sense. Who would they replace him with? Some type of military, military troops. And in this case, it could very well be those UN troops.
They staged the George Floyd killing. This is what all of it's about. It's not about Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter is funded by George Soros. It's funded by the deep state. This was all orchestrated and planned.
And that's no secret, okay? A lot of people, are waking up to the fact, and that's why he mentioned that a lot of these pages are getting taken down. They're exposing these things. Esau is exposing itself, right? So yeah, a lot of people are waking up to the fact and waking up to the propaganda, right? And a lot of you jakes, you fell for this whole Black Lives Matter movement nonsense, all right? And you just giving them more of an excuse to come in,
So that the police would get dismantled and disbanded. The streets would be chaotic. The UN would have to come in. This is how they plan to do it. This is how they plan to put the UN on the streets. And this is what's going to happen. They're overthrowing the government. They're overthrowing America. They're overthrowing the citizens, the president. Everybody's getting overthrown. And unfortunately, they packaged Black Lives Matter up in a nice camouflage little box and tricked Americans into going out and support.
So since he brought that out, let me just go ahead and get brought up the fact that these politicians and governors and mayors, they're all getting overthrown. Where's it at? 2 Ezra 15-16. For there shall be sedition among men, and in invading one another they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So this is exactly what's going on, and this is what exactly Esau he set this whole thing up. He wants chaos in the streets so they can come in and take over and establish his new world order. Which again, a lot of you jakes, you fell for the whole Black Lives, Black Power, Black Consciousness bullshit. You fell for it. You're out there looting and rioting or whatnot. Pretty much hurting your own communities and you're hurting your own businesses and whatnot. So again, you jakes, you fell for it. You're falling along right into the snares of Esau. So let me continue to play this out because he brought out some good stuff.
Important so that they could overthrow the country and bring the UN in. This is what's happening. Now, I understand why my main channel, why I'm locked out of it, why High Impact Flicks is locked out of theirs, why Rex Bear just got demonetized. Do you understand what they're doing? They're taking as many big channels down as they can. They're striking them out. They're locking them out. They're censoring them. They're demonetizing them. They are scrambling right now on Google and YouTube and social media to shut down as many people as fast as possible so that you don't hear this message, so that you stay confused and have no idea what's going on. So like I said,
yeah, because a lot of this is going to take a lot of you Israelites, a lot of you jakes, man. It's going to catch a lot of you off guard. When that time comes and those troops come in, a lot of you are going to, in fact, be, you're going to be confused. You're not going to know what the hell is going on, what to do, right? Let me go ahead and, what is that? First or second? Let me try first. First Maccabees 1, and I believe it's 26. No, that's bear with me. First Maccabees 1 and 20, because I'm just going to start here just to prove a quick point. First Maccabees 1 and I'll start at verse 20. It says, "And after that Antiochus had smitten Egypt, he returned again in the 100th, 40th, and 3rd year, and went up against Israel and Jerusalem with a great multitude." Now, if you don't know about Antiochus, he was one of the most wicked Edomites. All right, he put Israel through all kind of hell and torture tactics. He did all type of things, to Israel. All right, and I just wanted to show, because this spirit is back. He is back on the earth, and when those UN troops come through, man, they're going to be doing all type of torture tactics and bringing all type of hell. All right, Jack and Jake's up. I'm gonna jump down. I'm gonna just read on down. In verse 21, it says, "And he entered proudly into the sanctuary and took away the golden altar and the candlestick of light and all the vessels thereof, and the table of shewbread and the powering vessels and the vials and the censers of gold and the vial and the crowns and the golden ornaments that were before the temple, all which he pulled off." So, this guy, he came into the temple and was just taking stuff and overthrowing stuff and, just defiling the temple. All right. Verse 24, "And when he had taken all away, he went into his own land, having made a great massacre and spoken very proudly." So, after he, pretty much robbed the sanctuary, robbed Israel, he went back to his homeland and he was bragging, about the great massacre, all the death that he committed, all the murdering that he had done, right? And again, this is, I bring this out to say, this is what's going to happen again. All right, when these UN troops come through, they're not going to be playing around. What you see a lot of these Jakes doing now, these different troops, man, they're not going to be tolerating that shit. They live by a whole different set of rules and regulations. All right, I brought this up before when it comes to the local law enforcement. They're on a whole nother ball game. All right, so a lot of these Jakes that want to be acting like damn idiots and dancing in front of the policemen and talking shit, and doing all this other crazy nonsense, acting like fools. These troops, man, they're just gonna be shooting, mowing down Jakes. It's gonna be heaps upon heaps upon heaps of bodies. And again, because this guy Antiochus, he was bragging about this stuff, what he was doing to the children of Israel. And that's what these troops are gonna be doing. They're gonna be killing you for sport, man. They're gonna be taking women and children and raping them and just doing all type of stuff for fun and games. This is what's to expect. All right. Reading on in verse 25, it says, "Therefore there was great mourning in Israel, in every place where they were." So this is what's coming. Mourning. All type of distress. Sorrows, as the scriptures talk about. Right. Reading on verse 26, "So that the princes and nobles mourned, the virgins and young men were made feeble, and the beauty of women was changed. Every bridegroom took up lamentation, and she that sat in the marriage chamber was in heaviness." Because scriptures do talk about, during that time, people were marrying and giving into marriage, right? How that day is it's gonna catch them like a thief in the night. People are just gonna be going about their normal day-to-day routine, and here come these troops and just pretty much rain on your parade. Good movie, good example, that movie Red Dawn. People are just living their normal lives, and here it comes these troops overhead, just jumping out of planes and just coming down and snatching people up and shooting people down. That's what's going to happen. This is what you can look forward to. Esau has this all planned out. Reading on in verse 28, it says, "The land also was moved for the inhabitants thereof, and all the house of Jacob was covered with confusion." So again, when these things go down, you Jakes, man, you're not going to be screaming during that time, oh, I know my rights. I have my rights. Look, all that shit's going to be out the door when that time comes. You know, a lot of you are going to be just sitting in confusion. You know, you're not going to know what to do, where to go, who to turn to. All right. You know, calling on the names of Jesus and you know, Christ. That's not going to save you in that day. All right. Because, you know, first sign of trouble, Jake likes to, oh, Jesus and oh, God. Well, listen, if you don't know the names of Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, then, hey, you know, you know, again, you know, it's going to be a day of confusion. You're not going to know where to go, who to go to, who to call. You know, this is what's going to take place. All right, I'm gonna play this out, and I'm gonna just, you know, let me just play this out some more.
Said this is a call to action. If you want to try to save your country, you're going to have to stop the protests.
And this guy, you know, I guess he's like a I don't know, maybe he one of those, you know, patriots. You know, loves the country. You know, he pretty much talks about, you know, if you don't want this to happen, then, you know, you got to stop the protests and this and that. But, you know, those of the faith know, you know, we want these things to continue to happen. We want things to ramp up. You know, the scriptures talk about, you know, praying that these days, you know, continue to go by quicker. You know, let these plagues come so we can get the hell up out of here. You know, but of course, you know, these guys, you know, they don't know what's going on. You know, but those of the faith do. All right, so.
You're going to have to get out, and you're going to have to share this video. You're going to have to get out, and you're going to have to explain to protesters why they're being used and what's going to happen.
And Jake's not going to listen. All right, you can show them, you know, the videos and continue to send out the warnings or whatnot. Jake's not going to listen. All right, because it's mostly, you know, Jake's out there, you know, riding and protesting and tearing things up. You know, so they're not going to listen.
Because of them protesting, they're going to bring the UN in. If America, like, well, not if. This article looks like they're bringing the UN in. So you thank the protesters, you thank Black Lives Matter, and Black Lives Matter is not about black rights and not about black equality. Black Lives Matter is ran by white people who run Antifa. They tricked the country into getting up and rioting. And let me tell you who else is guilty. All those freaking celebrities tweeting out that they got COVID.
Yep.
All the celebrities standing up supporting Black Lives Matter. Them too.
You got these some of these celebrities like Michael B. Jordan and Keke Palmer, you know, protesting. And what's that other guy? I don't know his name right now, but you know, he played in the new Star Wars movie, right? And these guys like Idris Elba, right? All these guys, you know, they're lower elites, but you know, like I said, you know, because Esau, you know, he's going to use people that live just like us to push his agenda, right? And again, a lot of you, Jake, you fell for it, you know.
They're guilty too. They're part of the people who overthrew America, and they don't care because they're rich and they're famous,
right?
And they're going to move and live somewhere else, or
they think they're going to be saved too because, well, actually, he's going to say it. Let me play it out.
Going to live somewhere safe in America that nobody else can afford.
Those underground bunkers and whatnot, right? Like Kanye West purchased a multi-million-dollar bunker, all right? No, because you think these people, these celebrities, they care about their people. They don't give a damn about you. All they care about is money. You know, people are looking at Michael Jordan and how much money he donated to whatever cause, I don't even know, but people forget the fact that he also spent money to build more prisons for a lot of you dumb jakes. You know, he built these prisons for you dumb jakes. So these, you know, these celebrities at the end of the day, they don't care about you. They just care about the money because that's their God, and you know that's what they live by. Just like their daddy Esau. You know, these celebrities don't care about you.
So your celebrities have done this to you, along with the secret societies in this country. And I'm going to say it again. It's a call to action. We got to stop the protests. The protesters need to understand that the movement is not about black equality. It is about overthrowing America so that the UN can come in and own the country. Troops are coming. They're saying the U.S. is violating international law. And just to make sure it happens, Minneapolis was the first, dismantled the police force tonight. They voted to do it. Other cities and states are going to follow. It's gonna leave us no choice for the UN. The average citizen is going to beg to have the UN come in and help. The average citizen.
Yeah, because it's going to get so bad out here. You know, there's not going to be any local law enforcement agencies. You know, when your home's getting broken into, you know, your dial 911 is going to be out of service. It's going to go straight to dial tune. You know.
Is going to beg for this to happen. Things are going to be so bad in this country that they're going to want the UN to come in. This is the end game. This is the end game. The Patreon link is in the description of this.
So he just, you know, he just pretty much rambling on, you know, but yeah, man, this is you know, this is what's to expect, you know. Those troops are coming, man. You know, and you know that's when, you know, martial law is going to really be enforced, and it's going to be kicked off, right? Just go through a few more precepts and I close it out. Come on. I'm trying to make this short, sweet, simple. That's an Isaiah. I might as well. Isaiah 13. I started Isaiah 13. I started verse 5. It says they come from a far country. Yeah, most of those you know, those UN nations and European nations and over there in Russia and those, you know, Middle Eastern nations, you know. America, you know, is known as the virgin daughter of Babylon, you know, because as far as war, you know, America hasn't really been touched, but you know, that's about to change. You know, those when these wars start popping off, when World War III kicks off, you know, you're gonna have these different invasions, right? There's different UN troops coming through. All right. It says even Yahweh and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land, because eventually America is going to be destroyed with nuclear missiles. All right. It says, howl ye, for the day of Yahweh is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt. Verse 8, it says, and they shall be afraid. Pains and sorrows shall take hold of them. Yeah, so this is going to be a time of, you know, as the scripture say, man, a time of great mourning and sorrow, right? Because, you know, people are going to be dying by the, you know, by the thousands. All right, that word pangs, I looked it up earlier. It goes into like deep, painful emotion. All right, so you know, a lot of people are going to be dying. A lot of you Jakes are going to get mauled down like nothing, man, like the mire of the streets. All right, and was a precept in my head, but let me finish. What was that? Verse 8. It says, and they shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames, man. It says, behold, the day of Yahweh cometh, cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. And, you know, we know the precepts. You know, 2/3 of you Jakes, man, even though you see these things coming and these evils, you know, you're still going to be rebellious. All right. You know, and when those different troops come through, man, you're going to see a different type of, it's going to be the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, because ultimately it's his judgment. And, you know, these troops that, you know, that's about to be sent, you know, it's ultimately, that's the judgment from Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So there's going to be a different type of spirit on these cats, man, because they're really going to be, listen, man, you know, words don't do justice. All right. You know, we can just paint the picture as best as we can for you. You know, because again, you know, our words don't do justice, man. When these different UN troops come through, man, they're not going to be playing around with you Jakes. All right. You know, this is why, you know, what is this? Isaiah 21 or Ezekiel 21. This is what's getting ready to happen. You know, Yahweh Shai, he's sharpening that sword. All right. Ezekiel 21 and let me start at I'll just start at verse 9. Son of man, prophesy and say, thus saith Yahweh. Say, a sword is sharpened and also furbished. It is sharpened to make a sword slaughter. So, you know, that slaughter, man, you know, hear the apostle Elder Gabar often talking about how, you know, you got to be visionary when it comes to this thing. You know, you got to visualize these things, you know, because it's not going to be like a simple death, you know. Um, you know, that you look at that word slaughter, man, they're going to be freaking butchering you jakes, man. You know, they're going to be trotting down you jakes and you know, tearing you jakes up into pieces, man. You know, it says, it is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? Yeah, because, you know, a lot of jakes, again, you know, bringing out time in and time out, you jakes be playing around with this, you know. But when that time comes, you know, what are you going to say then? You know, you're going to be laughing and joking and mocking and scoffing then? You know? It says, it contemneth the rod of my son as every tree, and he hath given it to be furbished, that it may be handled. So again, you know, because ultimately this is judgment from Yahweh Shem Shai. So, you know, he's the one that's, you know, preparing these troops and ultimately putting his spirit on those troops to do the things that they're about to do to you jakes, you 2/3 jakes, you know. It says a sword is sharpened and it is furbished to give it. You see, it says to give it into the hand of the slayer. So, you know, again, you know, because ultimately Yahweh Shem Shai, he's the one in control. So he's going to be the one to give pretty much give the sword to Esau. You know, again, you know, you just picture the you know, the Heavenly Father sharpening the sword, and you know, he hands that sword down to Yahushai, who and thence he, you know, Yahushai, he hands the sword down to Esau, you know, preparing that sword and just to give it to Esau so he can slaughter you jakes, because you jakes don't want to listen, you know. So again, you know, this is what's to be expected, man. When those troops come through, man, it's lights out, man. Let me get this in what is that? Micah 3 and 16. Oh, I'm sorry, Habakkuk, not Micah. Habakkuk 3 and 16. Habakkuk. It says, when I heard, my belly trembled, my lips quivered at the voice. Because again, you know, the prophets, they seen these visions, man, and they were terrified. I believe it's in the same chapter. Yeah, in verse 2 it says, O Yahweh, I have heard thy speech and was afraid, O Yahweh. Revive thy work in the midst of the years, and in the midst of the years make known. In wrath remember mercy. Because there's going to be so much death and killing, man. It's going to seem like, you know, Yahweh Baal Shem Yahushai is pissed off at everything. You know, so, you know, again, you know, Habakkuk, he's seen his visions and he asked, you know, he begged the Lord, please don't, you know, let this happen when I'm long gone. Let this happen years from now. I don't want to be around, you know, because these visions were so bad, man. But going back to verse 16, continuing on, it says, rottenness entered into my bones, and I trembled in myself that I might rest in the day of trouble. When he cometh up unto the people, he will invade them with his troops. Yeah, because again, you know, ultimately Yahweh Shem Shai, he's going to be the one to send those troops in. You know, I mentioned in the previous video, you know, America is pretty much just going to be, you know, besieged, man. You know, you're going to have, and it's going to be a process of gradualism. You know, slowly, you're going to start seeing, you know, military presence, you know, rationing of food and supplies, right? Certain parts of the city is going to be cut off, you know. This is going to be, you know, just military presence throughout, man. And to the point where America is going to completely be a military state, all right? And, of course, let me get the, so this is why, you know, the scriptures talk about, you know, it says, like, just get it, I'm gonna butcher it, like madmen, you know. 2nd Esdras 16 and let me start at 18. It says the beginning of sorrows. So like the dude said in the video, and he might be a Jake, for all we know, but the dude said, this is, what we're seeing now is just, it's just the beginning, man. Haven't really seen nothing yet, all the chaos that's been going on, see, like this is what I was talking about, the Apostle Gabar, his notification popped up. And that only happens when I, of course, following the channel, then I turn the notifications on. With this video, I wasn't even following it. I don't have the notifications or anything. So, that's why I said, that it has to be the spirit. The spirit wanted me to see that video, but I digress. So like I was saying, pretty much all the chaos that's been going on for pretty much ever since the year began, it's been it's been chaos, but at the same time that all hell hasn't even broke loose yet. You understand? All hell hasn't even really broke loose yet. This is just the beginning. All right. It says, in great mournings, in the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars. You see that? It's the beginning of wars. All right. Because, again, you're going to have World War III pop off. You're going to have different countries invade America, right? It says, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? Because, again, these prophets, they seen these visions and they were terrified. They were mortified. They didn't want to be around, but, hey, reincarnation, hey, man. We all have to fulfill our lot, Esdras is back, Habakkuk is back, all the prophets, they're back. Nevertheless, let me jump to 21. It says, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth. And again, that's what you see going on now, pretty much gas is cheap, for the most part, because you do have some little inflation in certain parts, in certain states and cities. But for the most part, food is fairly cheap. All right. Everything's starting to reopen back up. Right. The society's starting to open back up, and that's when, that again, because that's going to bring, just speaking on Jake, man, that's going to bring a lot of Jakes back into a docile state. A lot of Jakes that are just going to go back to committing wickedness and just going the hell off. Right. And that's when it's, the scriptures talk about, that day coming as a thief in the night. That's why a lot of people, when this time comes, man, it's going to catch a lot of you off guard, and a lot of you are going to be confused, and you're just not going to know what to do, man. A lot of you just going to bug the hell out, So it's all adding up, man. It's all coming together, man. Call on your Yahweh Shem Yahushai, right? Reading on it says that they shall think themselves to be in good case. Yeah, because again, like I said, a lot of Jakes, when they start opening things back up, man, a lot of Jakes are just going to, go right back into wickedness and go back into the docile state. A lot of Jakes are going to go back to sleep. All right. It says, even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. Yeah, there goes that word again, confusion, because here it is, you think everything's going back to normal and, everything's good, but hey, then, again, that day is going to catch you as a thief, man. A lot of Jakes are going to be caught slipping, man, on a major scale. They're going to be caught off guard, man. It says, for many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape this hunger shall the sword destroy. Now, that includes these different UN troops and military troops, that includes a lot of Jakes getting mauled down by these troops, man. Because again, a lot of you Jakes, man, y'all taking things for a joke, man. Y'all think y'all can just, y'all thinking y'all are, running up in these, these police precincts and tearing the vehicles up or whatnot. Listen, Esau told them, Esau, is telling these guys, he's telling these precincts to, pretty much, clear out house. He's allowing these things pretty much to happen. All right. And again, a lot of you Jakes are falling for it. Y'all thinking y'all are winning right now. Y'all are running the cops off the block, right? Esau wants these things to happen. He wants this chaos to ensue, to continue to play out. so they can bring these troops in. That's the whole point. But again, a lot of y'all think y'all gonna be able to, play these same tricks when these UN troops come through, man. They're not gonna be playing games with you. I saw the thing about the Jake woman. She got shot in the head with a rubber bullet. I don't know if she was dead or alive. It was a picture, and I saw the caption. I don't know if she was alive or dead, but those are gonna be live rounds soon. And again, it's gonna be heaps upon heaps upon heaps of body, man. Jakes are gonna be dying by the thousands, the hundreds of thousands. So that's a part of that sword destruction. Verse 23 says, and the dead shall be cast out as dung. So, hey, man, a lot of you just going to be just dropping like flies. Like I said, Jake's going to be just killing you, Jakes, like nothing, man. A lot of you just going to be sitting out there like sheep, not sheep. A lot of you just going to be sitting out there just lying out there like shit, man, for the birds to eat. That's what it's going to come down to. Like dung upon the earth, man. There's not going to be anyone to mourn for you or lament for you or anything. Reading on, it says, and there shall be no man to comfort them. Yeah, exactly. You might be trying to get away from some troops or whatever, and one of your family members gets shot down. You're not going to have time to comfort him or her. You're not going to have time to lament or anything. It's going to get so bad out here. It says, for the earth shall be wasted and the cities shall be cast down. Yeah, man, they're about to tear this place up, man. And you Jakes, again, you've given Esau every excuse to come down on you. So, yeah, man. Like I said, this had to be the spirit, because, like I said, I've never heard of this channel. Just one more time. I don't have time. Like I said, it had to be the spirit that wanted me to see this video. So, hopefully, this can be passed around through the spirit. All right, and yeah, man, this thing's getting ready to go down. I'm gonna go ahead and end it off on this, and then I'll end it off. This is that flood, man. Isaiah 59:19. I'm gonna go ahead and get it, and I'm gonna end it off on that. Isaiah 59:19. So shall they fear the name of Yahweh from the west, which we are in. The western hemisphere. Or we're in the western part of the earth. All right. So, hey, you Jakes, you're gonna know and fear the names of Yahweh Shem Shai. He's gonna put that fear, back on the earth. All right, just a lot of Jakes you're gonna learn the hard way. It's just that simple. But I'm reading on, and its glory from the rising of the sun, when the enemy shall come in like a flood. So, hey, Esau, he's about to bring that hammer. He's about to bring that swarm, man. Say, hey, man, you Jakes, you better start getting ready. Start getting ready to eat missiles, man. If you somehow survive through all the pestilence and famine and error and all the hell that's about to be unleashed out here, if you make it past it, hey, just get ready to eat missile, man. Eat a missile. All right. It says the spirit of Yahweh shall lift up a standard against him. All right. And just wanted to end it off on that. Lord's will, this was edifying. Once again, I'll give all credit and all acknowledgement to Yahweh Shem Shai. And once again, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Until the next time, I say shalom.